and welcome back to another video here on my channel. You can probably see that I am surrounded by nature at the moment, but before I get into where exactly I am, let me just do a quick intro in case you didn't see my previous video or in case you are brand new here. My name is Sim and I am a South African, and currently I am actually living in Edinburgh, Scotland. But as you can see, I am not in Scotland at the moment. I am actually on holiday back in my home country, South Africa, and my previous video was all about my journey to finally get here after 2 long years, and I am so happy to be back. One of the must-do things here in South Africa is definitely a trip to the bush to experience the nature and wildlife here. So we are currently in the northern part of the Kruger National Park, and it's actually a private part of the park, even though there aren't really any fences keeping us off from the rest of the Kruger National Park. This specific lodge I don't think is open to the public, so it is private. So now the introductions are out of the way, I think the first thing we definitely need to do is go on a game drive and see what animals we can spot.
This is the game drive vehicle and we've spotted our first animal, a monkey, but it's time to get out on the road and see what else we can spot today. One of the first things that you will usually spot in the bush is impala, which is a type of antelope, and there are so many of them. We also have some zebras on the right, and then on the left there's some wildebeest. Here is a closer look at the zebra, one of my favorite animals, and we also have a giraffe enjoying some leaves right next to the road. These are rhino footprints, but no rhino just yet. And we also came across some bones. But the highlight of the drive was definitely this. These lions are walking up and down the cut line, which is the fence that you see which separates the property that we are on with the one next door, and they are marking their territory because the lions on our side are apparently also close. As the sun set, it got dark, and later on we spotted hyena that you can see in the light there. I have to pause the video here because guys, I have to tell you how I was almost attacked by a hyena on this trip. It's important to always stay in the game vehicle when you are out on a drive, but there are some areas where you are allowed to get out for a brief period of time. The dam is one of these areas, and I thought it would make the perfect background for a thumbnail. I was about to get out and set up the shot, but then suddenly my husband told me, do not get out of the car. I thought he was being silly at first because we really couldn't see anything, but he just had a bad feeling, so I never got out. We start up the truck and suddenly we hear rustling in the bush just a few meters away from us, and right there staring at us is a hyena. This is the bush right in front of us here, and then I got the hyena as it was running away to the other direction. Luckily, we never got out.
So we're back from the sunset/night drive now, and how cool was that? We actually saw lions. That is not something that happens on every game drive, so I think we were really lucky with that one. Of course, the lion is part of the big 5, and we have actually seen 3 of the big 5 now. We also saw a buffalo and an elephant on this trip, but we saw them when we were driving on like the main tar road, so we were going quite fast and you couldn't really stop and look at them properly, but we saw them passing by, so it was still pretty cool. Right now I'm gonna head over to the main house where the kitchen and everything is, and I'll show you that tomorrow when the sun is out again, because it does have a really nice deck with a view over the plains. But now I'm just gonna head over there, get a glass of my favorite South African wine, and we'll probably start a fire if there isn't one already. Good morning, it is the following day now. We are doing breakfast this morning, and I think the rest of the day we are going to spend it next to the pool because it is incredibly hot today. I think the maximum is going to be like 39 degrees, and we are used to temperatures below 20 degrees. But before we get into that, I wanted to give you a bit of a room tour and also show you around the lodge that we are staying at.
There are 5 units in total, and each unit has this lounge area with couches, nice high ceilings, and a fan because it's so hot. And we also have a mini kitchen, but as I mentioned, there is a main kitchen that is fully equipped. But the best part is definitely this amazing view. Each unit has 2 bedrooms with 2 single beds. Again, you have the ceiling fan for the heat, and the view also continues. You can open up that whole area with a sliding door, and then you are straight on the deck. The room is open plan, so your shower is also right there. Massive shower head, and if you open the windows, it feels like you are showering outside. Speaking of outside, this is the deck, some chairs to lounge on, and we have a hanging parrot chair that is so cool, and you get a really good vantage point of the bush. This is the perfect place to come read a book, unwind, and just forget about everything else. This is the unit from outside, and you can see it's built on stilts just in case elephants come into the camp. This is the first pool house, just a nice place to relax as well. And all the way on the other side we have the main house over there. The main house has a big living room and dining room area as well as a kitchen, but you're probably going to spend most of your time out here on the deck, either next to the pool or in one of the swinging chairs. And on the plains here there's also a watering hole, so you might also spot some wildlife.
So now that you have the tour and you know what it looks like, I am going to head over to the main house, back to the pool again, because I just need to cool off. Can't wait to just sit next to the pool, maybe with a drink in my hand. I've been looking forward to just getting a tan here in South Africa before going home. So that is definitely the goal for today, but not to get sunburnt, so it's a fine line. It's another day in the bush, and at least today it's a lot cooler. Last night we had some crazy winds come through, and that seems to have blown away some of the heat. I don't know if that's a thing. So basically every day here we have a routine of going on a game drive in the morning and then also in the afternoon. So obviously over a few days that can add up to quite a few hours of driving. So instead of bringing you along for every single drive, I am going to compile all the best sightings that we saw while we were out.
First up has to be the other pack of lions that we spotted. This one decided to just lie in front of us in the middle of the road. We also finally spotted the rhino. Its horn has been removed for safety purposes so that poachers hopefully don't bother it. And back to the giraffe enjoying its leaves. There were quite a lot of giraffe in the area. This was quite a unique spotting for me, seeing a tortoise in the wild. I've never seen that before, so that was pretty cool. And we also saw Pumbaa running over the plains. We spotted a crocodile on the other side of the dam. Here is a closer look, and you can see that a part of its tail is missing. Some more footage of zebras just because I like them so much, and also some wildebeest crossing the road. Seeing all the wildlife is definitely incredible, but sometimes it's also just about being out in nature, getting that fresh air, and just taking in the incredible view that's in front of you.
So I am going to attempt to drive the game vehicle. as you saw, this is a massive truck. Fingers crossed we don't see any elephants or anything that might approach us. This is the only time I'll probably say this in the bush, but I hope we don't see anything. Here we go. Yo, this is a big bump. Keeping my eyes on the road. There's a car park. There's not as a boat. There's two babies. Sorry, I feel so bad for ruining the nap time. We survived. I made it back to the lodge, so it looks like I can actually drive a game vehicle. It was actually a lot of fun. On the way we saw some zebra, some impala and stuff like that, so I think my first game drive was a pretty successful one. Good morning guys, it is 10 to 5 at the moment, and I thought one last thing that I need to show you is a African sunrise, because if you are in the bush, that's one thing you have to just sacrifice one of your mornings, get up early and see that sunrise, because it's one of the most beautiful things that you are ever going to see. How incredible was that sunrise? Nothing beats the sun coming up over the bushveld. It just looks so beautiful. But the sun is properly out now and it's already so hot, even though the day just started. So I think it's gonna be another really hot day, and I think we'll probably spend a lot of time next to the pool. It is actually our very last day here in the bush. So seeing as it's our last day, I think I'm gonna end off the video now, just so I can just chill out for the last day, take it all in one last time. I really hope you enjoyed this safari bush experience with me and that you also saw some cool things. I think it was a pretty successful trip to the bush. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up down below to help support my channel. And if you want to see more of my upcoming videos, remember to also subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and then I'll see you again in the next video.